What is up, everybody? Welcome back to FNFBARTALK. Me and Negative Rob are back at the bar again, and we have another old school review. It is the Richards Wild Irish Rose. Now, I'm sure a lot of people watching this probably remember this gem from back in the day. I can honestly say I've never had this. We've never had this before. This comes in at 17% alcohol. He has some fun facts about that to tell you in a second, but I know there is two alcohol versions. The nutritional value for this bottle comes in at, this is 1.5 liter. It is 1,012 calories and 25.2 grams of carbs, which the carbs don't see that bad for how much you actually get. So if you were to indulge on this entire bottle, which I'm sure a lot of people have back in the day and currently, then that's what you'd be having, a little bit over 1,000 calories.
Yep. So with that, this is also known as the bum wine, because back in the 70s, 60s, this was a thing for bums. Oh, they loved it. It was cheap, very sizable, and kept them warm all night long. So, few fun little things that I found on this. So the company itself was founded in 1945. Now, Irish Rose itself was introduced in 1954, and I guess you want to call him the founder or the CEO or whatnot of Marvin Sands, named it after his son Richard, who was 3 at the time. Marvin Sands has since passed in the year 2000, and his son is currently about 53. However, in 1993, Richard Sands became CEO when his father kind of sort of retired or stepped back a little bit, and he decided he was going to keep it because this was a very good seller. 2 million cases annually of this is sold.
Wow.
They are based in Fairpoint, New York. They do very well. They do a lot of cheap wines, but through the decades of sorts, he's also done a lot of more. He's invested like $1.5 billion into, over the years of decades and whatnot, into more expensive type stuff. Fun fact that the company is the nation's number 2 when it comes to winery, and said they follow behind our most little famous one of E&J Gallo, aka Boone's Farm. So
Interesting.
So when it comes down to it, Boone's Farm and our Irish Rose are basically cheap wines that everyone seems to love for decades. And as if you remember from the video we did recently with the Boone's Farms, they've been around for a long time. So, and I'm pretty sure the Irish Rose is going to be around for a good length of time as well. So, little fun little tidbits on there. There's a little bit more into it, but that's just enough to kind of get you through. You know how I love my trivia and all that good stuff. So, so my thing is this is basically called a bum's wine. I don't think it's going to be the greatest taste. I mean, I remember seeing this back in the 90s and such. Obviously, they were small little pint-type flask-sized bottles of sorts. They just looked scary. So I know I didn't want to get into
all the cheap stuff. You're like, yeah, I don't know, man. Well, good friend of mine, Sean, he brought this down here. He's like, hey, do a review on this. And I was like, okay, I've never had this. I know he's never had this. And I'm thinking, like he said, going to liquor stores years, past, and we would see this. And I'm just like, oh, man, that's probably terrible. That'd probably make you just destroy your stomach, make you, bad hangover. So fast forward, here we are, 2024. Now we'll try it now.
Yeah. I mean, back then, beers, that was one thing. Liquor, yeah, you pick and choose what liquors you wanted to get into. This kind of stuff, this was the stuff that you saw them literally bums and not bums, but guys that were basically nothing but skin and bones, guys that looked like they probably worked in a coal mine all freaking day, swig this and gurgle with it. And yeah, that was one thing back then. You were like, I ain't touching that.
All right, you want to open her up, and then we'll give it a shot and see what this is all about. I mean, 2 million cases annually. That's a lot.
Yes,
that's a lot of sales for products. I mean, must be pretty good. I mean, I know it's pretty cheap. It's definitely not expensive.
Doesn't smell bad. Does have kind of a slight Boone's Farm smell.
I think it's just that cheap wines, man. That cheap,
Could
like
be.
Mad Dog, Boone's, all that stuff.
Yeah. It doesn't have a Mad Dog smell, but it definitely has a Boone's Farm smell.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
But it doesn't have a... Well, no, Boone's Farm it was a little dark, too.
Cheers.
Mm.
Wow. It's not bad. You don't like that?
Woo! Yeah. There is... Oh... I would not have been drinking this back in the 90s. No, no, I don't think I would have been, no.
I don't think it's too bad.
It's not Haple. In the decades past, at least for me, the crap that I have drank willingly and unwillingly has basically prepared me for such concoctions nowadays. It is sweet. It does have a slight tartness to it. I know it's kind of a contradiction, but when you first taste it, it is very sweet, but then it has a little bit tart on the backside. For me, it is the sweetness that's a little overpowering for that. If they would mellow that down just a little bit, it'd be spot on. So I don't know whether that's something that they geared towards, being a bum's wine per se.
It says grape wine with citrus spirits.
Well, I don't really get very much citrus, but it's sweet. So, but yeah, it's not bad. I mean, not as scary as I thought it would be.
I mean, for the price, like I say, if you're looking to, just get annihilated by this thing, man, yeah, I see it. I mean, it's not hateful. It doesn't taste that bad. You could definitely tell it's a cheaper wine. It has that Boone's, the Mad Dog. It just has that cheap wine taste to it, but it is sweet. It's very sweet, like you said. But I'm actually amazed that such low carbs, it's actually that sweet.
Well, and it might have something to do with it. I know there was a slogan. They said this was not a wine that you would sit and enjoy. This was a wine that you would get tore up and land on your face.
Oh, there you have it.
And it's on their website. So yeah, I mean, this is something that, yeah, this would tear you up and you be right on the ground. Done. But hey, this probably kept a lot of bums warm at night, depending on where they were. So, and realistically, I mean, unless you're really hardcore, this bottle could probably last you a good couple nights or 3 nights or whatever. If you were just sort of like slow sipping. And we got to think of what was this today? Like what, 3? No, which one? I forgot to even check how much it is.
The price?
I think it's almost $20. I think maybe.
I'm not sure. Like I said, Sean brought it over here. I don't know the price.
I'm trying to remember what it was seen on the website, but I mean, you got to figure what 50s. This was probably a couple bucks. 60s, maybe $1 more. 70s, probably under $3-4, something like that. Maybe if you were getting a bottle like this, depending on that. 90s, I think, shoot, those things were probably less than $10 for probably this thing. So, I mean, for the price, yeah, it'll. If you're looking to get tore up, there you go. Richards will not disappoint. Yeah, you chug that. You going down on your face.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I mean, it's not the best thing I've ever had in my life, but it's not I was definitely expecting something a lot worse than this, like some real rot gut. And he's talking about their whole slogan: if you want to get trashed, just drink this. But I mean, hey, if that's what's on the website and that's what they're kind of explaining, you got to give it to them because they're basically telling you, hey, this isn't a high quality wine.
Huh?
You're going to sit here and enjoy. This is something for you and your friends, or you to sit here and just drink and get a buzz on it.
Yeah, it's called a bum wine. That's what they called it back in the day. I think that was in the 50s. Bum wine. They knew who their clientele was.
Yeah, so people come in there and they said they're cheap.
Yeah,
for the quantity you get of it, how big it is, and like I said, you can sit there and drink on it all night long for a couple bucks.
Yeah,
so,
whatever you could panhandle when you were out there.
So for the value, A+.
Yeah,
I would rate this bottle. It's not bad. I thought this was gonna be, dude. I thought this was gonna be awful.
Yeah.
I would honestly, because I could actually sit here and probably drink this whole bottle. I would give this a 7 out of 10. It's not that bad.
No, it's not. And I mean, and we've got it. It's chilled, so I mean, God only knows what it tastes like at room temperature.
Ugh. That's a
That's
whole different ball game.
Oh yeah, that bums wine. I mean, with that, I would say I would probably give this a good 7 out of 10 as well. With the taste of tasting it from this point here, if I was to have drank this back in say the 90s, no, I would probably rate that probably a 3. After a couple drinks, probably puked, fell on my face, and slept through the rest of the night. So, because chances are, hanging out with certain individuals and whatnot, I would have probably had to have drank the whole bottle in one going. So,
but like he was saying earlier, I think you mentioned it. These come in 2 different alcohol percentages.
yep.
I believe this
It was
was
a 13.9 and an 18. This one, however, is a 17. So the 18 might have been something that was a little bit older, and maybe they've just kind of decreased a little bit. But 13.9 and a 17, as this one is on there. So not quite sure on what the difference is. I don't know whether maybe it's the bottling or something. I don't know. So. I mean, there was nothing really specified on there. It was just what they gave on that. So,
yeah. So that's a review on the Richards Wild Irish Rose. If you guys have had this, definitely drop a comment. We did the Mad Dog review on 9 flavors, and a lot of you guys commented. We're telling some old stories of just the one flavor. That's all you guys used to find back in the day. So we like hearing that because we were coming up in the 90s. It was 3 or 4. So to hear that there was only one flavor, just the Great Red, that was it. That was the original, and so yeah, definitely drop a comment. Let us know if you guys have had this, and what your thoughts are on it. So,
yeah,
overall not bad. I thought it'd be like disgusting, but it's just kind of like
I'm pretty sure that most of our and I'm not stating anything, but our older viewers are probably very familiar with this.
Oh, sure.
Those that are about our age, give or take, maybe 10 years, yeah, they're going to be quite familiar with this. So some of them probably haven't drank it since back in the day. So just the idea of seeing that and watching us drink this probably brought back some very fond and non-fond memories.
I can see that.
Ooh.
Well, as always, folks, drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive.
Especially after drinking this.
This is too good. You just drink the whole bottle, then you don't want to do that. We're going to try to do like one old school retro review. We're trying to do at least once a week. Trying to find a lot of stuff for you guys. A lot of people like the older stuff for some reason, so that's fine. We don't mind doing other videos like these, so.
Yeah, it's good to have a little bit of the nostalgia and go back and see what you thought was very good and find out that it was crap, or vice versa. Think about some of the stuff that you never had or scared to have or made you really nauseous and sick, and you drink it now and you're like, what the hell? I'm sure I'll never find that, but yeah.
So we have another review coming up soon. It's another old school one. I'm not going to say any names, but it entails 7 bottles, and I'm sure we are not going to enjoy it. So stay tuned. If you guys follow me on TikTok or see the channel that we do, there was a picture posted. So I try to put a lot of stuff up on TikTok and Instagram of upcoming reviews. So if you guys take a minute, go over there and look around, you'll see like a lot of new stuff that will be coming soon review-wise. So
share it around, try to get it out there a little bit. I kind of check around some of the, not competitors, but some of our people that are doing the same thing as we are. And for some of the stuff that we've been doing, we're a little bit ahead of the game. So, I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, but share everything, get it out there so everybody can see what's going on.
All right, everybody. Well, that was this review. Stay tuned. We have a lot more reviews coming. Like I say, every week they drop. So we will see you guys next time.